Morning, everyone. It's coffee talk. Everybody come in and sit around the table. We're just going to talk about um, some various things that I've been talking about on my channel. The last things we people were commenting on was because I did a video on going down picking up my groceries, and I'd stopped by Taco Bell. But I was talking about how food don't taste right anymore. And of course, I had mentioned that another YouTuber from, I don't know, months back had talked about uh, companies making sawdust into cellulose as a filler in various foods. And so I didn't know what the name was, but somebody came on and commented that it was cellulose. So I looked it up, and it is a fact. You don't just get cellulose from um, uh, uh, sawdust, but think about that for a minute. Just keep that in mind. Make some notes about this now. And it comes from other sources that they go out and pick off the ground and stuff like that, like uh, plant husks and stuff. Um, you'll have to do some research on it. Now, I did have some um, little clips that I made screenshots of and sent them to my children, but I'm not going to do that here because, and I don't mean to sound rude or anything like that, but people need to start caring enough about what they're eating and about what's going on in the world to do some research and find out some things for themselves, because I believe that just hearing things from other people don't always work. I mean, you don't pay any attention to it. I mean, not you guys in particular, but people in general. Um, you just go on with your daily lives and think nothing about it. Well, they're just they're just making this stuff up or whatever. Or it's not important, or if it was important to government or the FDA and all them would be talking about it. Not true. All these people are connected. You just got to understand that. And the civilization is about capitalism, and I don't want to go into that, into debates or anything like that. But capitalism is a free enterprise for anybody that wants to make as much money as they want to make and do with their money what they want to do with it. Again, look it up. That's what that little smartphone is for that you've got there that you're watching me on right now. So, anyway, back to the food. And then you see all these people. I watch all these people about being, on YouTube, and there's a lot of good stuff that they're talking about and doing as far as the food and prepping food and um, cheap meals and stuff like that. What a lot of them aren't telling you is the amount of food that you can get away with eating and still live and still have a good life. Prepper Princess, she's good at it. Her assets, she's worth $1 million, or maybe a little over, but she's a millionaire from living frugally and watching her money, and she still lives a fairly good life. I mean, to me, what I can see, she lives a good life, and she owns a couple houses. From frugal living, from saving, from doing a lot of the stuff that she can do herself. But look her up, Prepper Princess. I'm a shout out to her because I really like her show. And but anyway, a lot of people don't understand that. Um, they think they have this idea that they got to go out and buy $200 worth of groceries a week in order to live good. No, you don't. No. Um, first of all, we do understand that a lot of the meat has been injected with hormones and stuff like that, um, and we've known that probably for years, and that's to keep not. Well, it's for the company like the chickens and stuff like that. They want them to grow bigger and fatter so they can have a bigger profit margin. But a lot of the cattle and stuff, they put um, oh, antibiotics in them to keep them healthy and well and stuff like that, with all the different bacteria and stuff that they say goes around. I don't know about that. I mean, you can't prove it by me. You can't disprove it by me. So I don't know. But I've never raised cattle to slaughter them and eat them. So, but anyway, the people. I don't want to say this, and I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I don't want to offend them. But have you looked at people in the world, especially in the United States, how fat we are? I mean, come on, get ridiculous. I mean, I'm 5'3" and a half. I should not weigh what I weigh. The last time I weighed myself, I was down to 157, which I had at one time lost a bunch of weight from 195 to 141. Even 141 is too much weight for this small bones. I should probably only be away. Excuse me. I should only weigh about 120, 125. Now that's about what I weighed back when I was first married, 1965. So here's the thing. We eat way too much to begin with. What makes us think that we got to go out and, like I said before, spend $100 to $200 to $300 to $400 for one person or even two people a week? We don't have to. First of all, there's articles out there that talk about how, okay, when you go to sleep, you're on a fast. When you go to sleep at night, you're fasting. You're not eating. So you get up in the mornings and you eat breakfast. That was an advertising ploy way back when they were trying to start up cereals for people to break their fast from not eating all night. That's all breakfast is, breaking the fast. And of course, and then they started with the other things like eggs and bacon and all that. In other words, that was all placed on the food pyramid. We shouldn't even have a food pyramid. But that's my opinion. You don't even have to think in that direction if you don't want to. But we eat too much. I have watched people, and I've done this myself. I'm not telling, I mean, instead of putting on my plate a little bit, my eyes are bigger than my stomach. You got to remember that. I've seen people pile their plates up like that. That's uncalled for one thing. And So, uh, how do I want to say this? You don't need to eat but one meal a day and a couple of fruit snacks. I don't mean the kind of fruit roll-ups or nothing like that. No, I mean like a banana or an apple or peach or whatever is your favorite uh, uh, um, fruit. Now, here's what I've started doing and what I like to do if I feel like doing it. I got a little crock pot, and I just yesterday what I did, I bought me the frozen vegetables and fruits because I don't like it in cans that much, and I'm hoping that the frozen ones will have less processed chemicals and stuff added to it. And I could be wrong. I mean, I may probably need to do some research on that, but um, I got some frozen peas and carrots and stuff like that that I can peel some potatoes, cut up some onions, and put some of those fruits, vegetables, frozen vegetables, peas and carrots in with it, which they're already cooked, but they're frozen, so probably about an hour before the crock pot is done, and I put some in that, or I can put it in before that, don't matter, and it'll all cook together. And I'll put onions in there, and I'll put my seasonings in there, and that'll make me a 2 or 3 day meal out of that little. It's just a small crock pot, 100 watt, and since I got me some frozen strawberries and stuff, blueberries and stuff in a package, I can use that as a dessert, or it's a snack throughout the day. And if I get fresh fruits and vegetables, like I get my bananas, I can have a banana. But I'm still human too, and I still have my flaws, so I'll get to thinking. See, thinking can bring about good or bad, because you'll start acting on your thinking. So if I get the idea that I want some ice cream, which, by the way, ice cream is one of the ones that they put the cellulose in, the sawdust. And so I haven't done all that much research on, and I know Breyers has it. So I do know that much because I Googled it, and they have to tell you what's in it, but they disguise it with different words and stuff like that. So again, that research, that wanting to know, and we wonder why we have digestive problems, because the sawdust will cause digestive problems. I looked that up too, and I'm not going to put no um, links or anything like that. My channel is to help you do what you need to do for yourself. Use that technology. I mean, you got to pay for it. You might as well use it. I don't know how much you pay for your phone. I pay $35 a month for my phone, and then I can run out of data real quick. But do the research for yourself. That way you know. That way you believe with your own eyes what you've seen. And you can sit and research as much as you want to, not just on one link. So, but I want you to learn to do for yourself And I know to a lot of people that sounds callous, but I'm sorry. I had to learn how to do all this. If I can do it. The girl that was skinny, little girl that was taught to be not seen, not heard, you're crazy, the little ugly duckling that was so stupid as a box of rocks. That's how I grew up. And I thought to myself, well, I am not going to let that be my story for the rest of my life. So I went to college. I was good at it, actually. Got on the dean's list 3 times at the age of 62. So the food thing is an issue. That's a fact. But we don't really know what the motives about all of this, about the high food prices and stuff like that. And we don't know the motives behind 15-minute cities. We don't know the motives behind putting stuff in the air to keep the sun heat off of us a little bit. Now, maybe there are a lot of them out there that really truly believe that it's for our best, for our welfare. Maybe the food prices are so high to keep people from eating so much food. Just saying. Just saying. Let me give you an example. I love cereal. No two ways about it. I love cereal, especially wheat puffs. Oh, excuse me, my nose. Hold on a minute. I'm back. I'll tell you, my respiratory system produces a lot of mucus on an ongoing basis, and I believe it's because of my environment, the Ohio weather, and I did well out in Arizona, but that was in my younger days, so maybe things have changed, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to test that out again, but anyway, maybe the food prices are so high to keep us from eating so much, because there's so many heavy people here in the United States, and you'll hear a lot of them say, well, it don't bother them. Well, maybe you think it don't, and a lot of them can. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it feels like to be as heavy as a lot of them are. They lay in bed 300 and 400 pounds weight. To me, 195 was just way too much for this little body. But anyway, back to the cereal. I loved that cereal. And I'd get up in the middle of the night. I don't know why, because I couldn't sleep, because I was hungry or something. I don't know. And I had food in the house. One night I didn't have food, but I'd get up and get me a great big bowl, almost the biggest bowl I could find, and fill that baby up with those wheat puffs, and dump the sugar on it and dump the milk on it. And man, I'd eat that. Sometimes I was a pig. Bottom line, I was a pig. Addicted to that sugar and those wheat puffs. So if you don't think food is addicting, there you go. And right now I have an issue with ice cream, which I'm hoping that, knowing that I don't know which ones have the sawdust in, that I won't go out and buy it. So, but yeah, you do not have to eat as much as you do. You can eat one meal a day. You don't have to have a steak that big if you eat meat, which you got to remember now, that steak came from a cow. And whether or not it went through trauma before and while they were slaughtering it, went into that meat. Now, I don't want no comments about killing the animal or anything like that. I don't want no debates going. So if you've got something to say about it, well, this is just an informative video that I'm letting you all know, and do your own research on it. But if you do have to have a steak, it don't have to be that big. You can cut it up into little sections, and your potatoes or your carrots or whatever you got on the rest of your plate, that should be enough for the day, except for your fruits throughout the day. You don't need no cookies and cakes and whatnot. I don't need no cookies and cakes, which I'm still working on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have a big of an issue about the cake and the ice. I mean, the cake and the pies and stuff like that I used to, and the cookies. I very rarely do it, and when I get it, I have something like that. It don't taste good. It all tastes the same. And now that I know more about the cellulose, the sawdust that's a filler in these foods. It's in bread, it's in tortillas, it's in cakes, it's in cookies. Then now that I know more about that, and I don't want stomach issues, then maybe that will be more of an incentive to me not to bother with that stuff anymore. But anyway, this is just coffee talk. We're just talking over coffee, and you're my friends and family, and of course, family don't listen to you anyway. So, me they don't anyway. I don't have no personal friends. You guys are the closest friends I've got. And of course, I noticed there's still some. This is hilarious. You know, when I first started this channel, oh man, people started rushing to me, and they just loved. I don't know the so-called wisdom that they think I have. I don't see where it's wisdom. It's just things that I've picked up along my 80 years of being on this earth. And but they're subscribing, and it started leaping up there, and some of these videos, and they see, well, I don't like what she's talking about there. I thought she was this sweet old grandma in the beginning, and she was fighting not to be homeless, and trying to make her little camper into a cute little home sweet home. But then when I got to talking about things that we've got to look out for, and if we're going to live a happy, contented life, click, they unsubscribed, and that's okay. That's okay. And there for a minute it bothered me, but there's some things that just don't make sense why people unsubscribe, like a purple avatar. that design for tiny home royalty tiny home creators, I created that myself. That's my own creation. It don't mean anything other than represents royalty, because it's purple and it's got like a crest. That's all that is. I don't know where people's minds are. I get so tickled with people, and I mean, in the beginning, it kind of, well, It bothered me. Well, okay, maybe it's for the best because I'm going to get the true blue subscribers, the ones that really want to be here. And so, if anything I've said on Coffee Talk here, y'all, well, all right, if you don't want to be here, go dump your coffee out in the sink, and I might see you later. I might not see you at all, but I love all the ones that have decided to stay, and they think I'm funny. I don't know. I don't know. I just get tickled at myself. That's bottom line. And so and of course there's certain fruits and stuff I can't eat because I don't have no bottom teeth, and my front teeth are I've only got 6 teeth now, so can't. It's hard to bite into an apple like I used to. I have to cut it up if I want to eat an apple. They have to be a little bit softer, else they hurt bottoms my gums. So everybody out there that has certain issues with certain foods, um, be more diligent in what you're eating. How many times a day you're eating? We don't, like, again I said, we eat far too much. Now there's something that's been bothering me a little bit, and I'm not going to do it today, but when you look in Genesis, when we were first created or put in the garden, I'm not sure because the story's not, there's just so many stories out there on tablets, old tablets and scrolls that don't tell it like it is in the English version of Genesis. So I'm just saying, but I'm going to go by the English version. When mankind was put in the garden, they were told, here, you can eat everything in here. And that was, and it's described. If you look in the first couple books of Genesis, no, the first couple chapters of Genesis, it'll tell in there what we were told to eat. Seed-bearing foliage. And that's the trees. And then you'll see where it talks about trees. You can eat of every tree in here except this one, right? Okay. So, and herbs. And it tells what the animals were to eat. Now, again, for me, I can come up with some other reasons why that was told that way. Because it seems like it's happening now. And they're wanting us to eat bugs and just the berries and fruits and vegetables. Like if you'll notice, they're trying to steer people away from eating meat. So I don't know whether that's correlated or not, because if it was back then and they're doing it again, just a question mark. What if it's the same scenario? We're just repeating ourselves. I don't know. Just coffee talk, guys and gals. So again, watch your food intake. I mean, don't sit and worry that you're not going to have enough food to make it through the month. All of us people that are on fixed incomes, or all you younger people that are having to feel like you have to pay $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000 for your rent. You don't have to have such a fancy house. Just saying. Don't have to have such a fancy car. Just saying. And you don't have to have 3 meals a day to live well and to be healthy. It just matters about what you put on that 1 meal a day and your snacks, fruits. So, I haven't come up with any more new quotes yet on the thing about what you get, what you think kind of deal. So, I'm still going to stick with Wayne Dyer. If you change your thinking, your way of thinking, you will change your life. Jesus said the same thing. Yeshua is his real name. And Henry Ford, if you believe you can, you think you can, or if you believe you can't, or if you think you can't, you're right either way. So you all have a great day, and I hope we had fun at the coffee talk this morning, and I'll be seeing you soon, and adios.